All right, so have you ever stared at a financial chart and just seen a chaotic mess of lines? I mean, just total noise. Well, what if I told you that inside all that noise, there's a story? A story about human psychology, our hopes, our fears, and the predictable ways we act under pressure. Today, we're going to learn how to read that story.
So that's the big question, right? And look, no, we can't literally read minds, but you know what? Chart patterns might just be the next best thing. Think of them as a window into the collective mind of the market, a way to see that constant push and pull, that battle between buyers and sellers playing out right in front of your eyes.
So, to understand the story, we first need to get familiar with its language. And in the world of technical analysis, that language is built out of patterns.
Here's the thing. A chart pattern isn't just some random shape. It's a pattern that shows up again and again, because as it turns out, people tend to react in very similar ways when they're faced with uncertainty and opportunity. These patterns are basically like footprints, left behind by the herd.
And this right here gets us to the absolute heart of the matter. You see, memorizing shapes is one thing, but to really get what's going on, you have to understand why they form in the first place. And the answer? Well, it really boils down to one thing: raw human emotion.
That's it. Every single move up or down on that chart is the result of a human decision. A decision to buy, a decision to sell, or to just do nothing at all. And driving those decisions are two of the most powerful forces in our nature.
On one side, you've got greed. That feeling of missing out, right? That desire to jump on a moving train. That's what fuels those explosive breakouts and pushes trends higher and higher. And on the other side, you have fear. The panic that sets in, that urgent need to get out right now. That's what causes those sudden sell-offs and those gut-wrenching drops.
And you can almost see these feelings take shape on the chart. When optimism and greed are running the show, you get patterns that suggest the good times are going to keep rolling. When fear and panic take over, you often see the whole trend just slam on the brakes and completely reverse course. And when nobody knows what to do, well, that uncertainty and indecision can squeeze the price into a tight coil, just waiting to spring.
So now that we've got a feel for the psychology, let's look at how we can actually classify these footprints. Generally, they all fall into one of three main buckets.
Reversal patterns, like a double top, it kind of looks like a big capital M on the chart, can signal that the current trend is running out of gas. Continuation patterns, like a flag, are more like the market taking a quick breather before it continues on in the same direction. And bilateral patterns? They're the cliffhangers. They show tension building up, but the story could end happily or sadly. The price could really break out either way.
But, and this is a big but, just being able to spot a shape isn't the whole game. To really understand what a pattern might be telling us, we have to look a little deeper at what it's actually made of. It is so tempting to get excited when you see something that looks like a textbook pattern, but without the right context, that shape is potentially meaningless. The real substance comes from understanding the three pillars that give every single pattern its significance.
The first pillar is price. This is the most fundamental part. It's the ink on the page, right? It's the series of highs and lows that actually draw the pattern structure and tell us what has happened so far.
The second pillar is time, and this one is fascinating. I mean, think about it. A disagreement that forms over just a few minutes is a small argument, but a battle of wills that builds over several months, whoa, that's a war. The longer a pattern takes to form, the more energy is coiled up inside it, and usually the more significant the eventual move is going to be.
And that brings us to the third pillar, which a lot of traders call the market's truth serum: volume. See, price tells you what happened, but volume tells you how much conviction, how much enthusiasm was behind that move. A breakout on high volume is a roar of approval. The same move on low volume, well, it's just a whisper. These three pillars all play out between two key boundaries: support and resistance. These aren't magic lines, they're zones of memory. Support is the price floor, where buyers have shown up in the past. Resistance is the ceiling, where sellers have historically decided to take profits. Patterns are really just the story of price battling it out between this floor and this ceiling. And that leads to the moment of truth, the breakout. A genuine breakout smashes through that ceiling or floor with a surge in volume. It shows real commitment. But a false breakout or a fake out, that's a trap. Price just meekly pokes its head out, often on low volume, luring people in, only to snap right back inside the pattern. The key difference, more often than not, is that volume.
So we have the language, the psychology, and the core components. But before you go off and start seeing patterns everywhere, we need to talk about the fact that this is much more of an art than a perfect science. And that means being aware of the limitations.
Reading charts can definitely be subjective. Two people can look at the same data and see different things. A perfect pattern can be completely shattered by a single surprising news event. And above all, a pattern never exists in a vacuum. A bullish-looking pattern in the middle of a huge market downturn is fighting a very, very strong tide. Context is everything.
And this really says it all. We are not trying to predict the future with 100% certainty. That's impossible. We're using these patterns as a tool, a way to identify moments where the odds might be tilted in one direction. It's all about managing probabilities, not gazing into a crystal ball.
So, we've journeyed from seeing chaotic lines to understanding the human story of fear and greed they represent. The goal today wasn't to give you some magic formula, but a new lens, a new way of looking at the market. So the next time you pull up a chart, what are you going to see? Just a jumble of lines or a human story waiting to be read?
Hey there and welcome. You ever look at a financial chart and just see a total mess of squiggly lines? It can be pretty confusing. Well, today we're going to turn that chaos into a clear story. We're going to decode the patterns that reveal the human emotions, the psychology that's really driving the market.
I mean, just look at this. It's a pretty standard price chart, right? It's got spikes, it's got dips, and a whole lot of what just looks like random noise. Is it going up, down, sideways? Who knows? Trying to guess what's next from this raw data feels kind of impossible. But here's the secret. There's a language hidden in all that noise.
Because that's all a chart really is. It's literally a picture of a constant battle between buyers who are driven by greed and sellers who are driven by fear. And these things called chart patterns, they're like the footprints left behind after the fight. Once you learn to read them, you can start to get a real sense of where the market might be headed next.
All right, so let's jump in and start learning the basic grammar of this secret language. First things first, what even is a chart pattern?
Okay, so a chart pattern is really just a recognizable shape that keeps popping up on charts. And no, it's not some kind of magic or voodoo. It's simply a reflection of human psychology playing out over and over again. These patterns help us take all that noisy, messy data and translate it into a much clearer story about who's winning the tug of war, the buyers or the sellers.
Basically, almost every pattern you'll ever see falls into one of two big buckets. On one hand, you've got reversal patterns. Think of these as a giant U-turn sign on the highway. They're warning you that the trend you're in might be about to completely change direction. Then, on the other hand, you have continuation patterns. These are more like a rest stop on a long road trip. The market's just taking a quick breather before it gets back on the road and keeps going in the same direction.
All right, let's dive into that first bucket, reversal patterns. We're going to look at how you can spot these major U-turns, sometimes before they even happen, by looking at one of the most famous patterns of all time.
And we've got to start with a true classic, maybe one of the most reliable reversal patterns out there, the head and shoulders. The name tells you pretty much exactly what it looks like. And the story it tells is a classic tale of a strong trend just running out of gas.
So let's walk through the story this pattern tells, step by step. First, the buyers are on a roll, pushing the price up to a peak. That's your left shoulder. Then they give it one last powerful shove to an even higher high, forming the head. But you can tell they're starting to lose some steam. The right shoulder is their last-ditch effort, a weak little rally that can't even get back to the previous high. That's a huge clue that sellers are taking over. The final act, the breakdown, when the price crosses a very important line in the sand.
And that line in the sand is called the neckline. You just draw a line connecting the low points of the pattern. You can think of it as the buyer's last line of defense. When the price smashes through that neckline, especially with some force, boom! That's your confirmation that the buyers have officially lost and the trend is probably turning around.
Okay, so that's a big U-turn. But what happens when the market isn't turning around, it's just taking a little break?
Well, that's where you get continuation patterns, like flags and pennants. So after a really strong move up or down, that's what we call the flagpole, you'll often see the price just kind of drift sideways for a bit. This little pause is what creates a small rectangular flag or a tiny triangle-shaped pennant on your chart.
And the psychology behind this is actually pretty straightforward. After a big sprint, some traders decide to cash in and take their profits. At the same time, new traders are waiting on the sidelines. This creates a little pause, an equilibrium. And you'll almost always see the trading volume get really quiet during this pause. But once the price breaks out of that flag or pennant in the same direction it was going before, that's the signal that the rest stop is over and the journey is back on.
Okay, now here's something that applies to every single pattern we've talked about, whether it's a reversal or a continuation. Think of it as the ultimate power-up, or maybe a lie detector. And that tool is volume.
So here's the deal, and this is super important.
A pattern becomes way more believable when the big breakout move is backed up by a huge spike in trading volume. You'll notice the volume is usually pretty low and quiet while the pattern is forming, but that huge surge in volume right at the breakout, that's the good stuff. That's conviction. It tells you that a lot of people with a lot of money are getting behind this move.
You can really think of it like this. High volume is the market basically shouting that this move is the real deal. It's showing genuine commitment. But if you see a breakout on like barely any volume, that's sketchy. It could totally be what's called a false breakout, a trap that's designed to fool you into making the wrong move.
But look, just knowing the patterns isn't the whole game. It's just as critical to know about the common traps and mistakes people make when they try to use them.
These are the absolute classics. First up, and this is a big one, don't try to force a pattern that just isn't there. If you have to squint and turn your head sideways, it's not real, okay? Second, always look at the bigger picture. A bullish pattern doesn't mean much if you're in the middle of a massive downtrend. Third, you gotta have patience. Wait for the pattern to be confirmed, like waiting for that neckline break. And last but not least, never, ever ignore what volume is telling you.
So really, it all boils down to this one golden rule. No chart pattern on Earth is a 100% guarantee. They're all about probabilities. They are fantastic clues that give you insight into the market's psychology, but they work best when they're just one tool in your toolbox combined with other forms of analysis. They're about giving you an edge, not a crystal ball. Big difference.
So there you have it. We started with what looked like a chaotic mess of lines, right? And now we see a story about momentum, about markets taking a breath, and about how to spot real conviction. We've learned the basics of the market's secret language. The only question now is, since you know how to listen, what stories are you going to find in the charts?
All right, let's talk about something that drives a lot of traders crazy. Have you ever stared at a chart, seen a perfect head and shoulders pattern, and thought, this is it, only to watch it completely fall apart? Today we're going to crack that code. We're turning those confusing squiggles into a real workable strategy. So here's the big question, right? These patterns are everywhere, in books, on websites, all over social media. If everyone knows about them, why on earth do so many people still lose money trying to trade them? It feels like a paradox, but trust me, the answer is simpler than you think. And here it is, this is the key. You have to get this into your head. A chart pattern is not a crystal ball. It's not telling you what's going to happen. Think of it more like a roadmap. It shows you possibilities. And if you don't know how to read that map, well, you're going to get lost. Getting this one idea right changes the entire game.
Which brings us to what I like to call the pattern paradox. Look, anyone can do a quick search and learn to spot a double top. That's the easy part. But actually knowing how to trade it successfully, that's a whole different skill set. In this explainer, we're going to build the bridge from just spotting patterns to actually trading them like a pro. So let's just reset our definition here. A chart pattern isn't magic. It is a tool. It's a tool that helps us make smart, disciplined decisions based on probabilities. It helps us find situations where the odds might be in our favor, and just as important, it helps us figure out how to manage our risk when we're wrong. Now let's get into the first and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle: context. A chart pattern without context is completely useless. It's like finding a single puzzle piece on the floor. It might look interesting, but without the rest of the puzzle, you have no idea what it means or where it fits.
And context really boils down to these three pillars. First, trend. Are you trying to swim with the current, or are you fighting against it? Next, your time frame. Are you a day trader looking at a 5-minute chart, or an investor looking at a weekly chart? The same pattern can mean very different things. And finally, market conditions. Is the market choppy and volatile, or is it calm and trending smoothly? You have to know what kind of environment you're in.
And I cannot stress this enough. This is the #1 killer of trading accounts. Ignoring the context is why you see these perfect textbook patterns just completely fall apart. You can't build a strong trade on a weak foundation. It's just not going to happen.
Okay, so once you've got the context figured out, it's time to build your case. The best traders, they operate like detectives. They don't just act on one clue. They gather a bunch of evidence that all points in the same direction. And to do that, you need a confirmation toolkit.
And the magic word here is confluence. This is such a powerful idea. It's when your chart pattern, a volume spike, and maybe a momentum indicator all start singing the same song. They're all telling you the same story. Each new piece of confirming evidence doesn't just add to your confidence, it multiplies it.
So, what's in this toolkit? Well, first up you have volume. A breakout without volume is suspicious, but a breakout with a huge surge in volume, that's like putting rocket fuel in the tank. Then you have momentum indicators like RSI or MACD. Think of these as the speedometer on the car. They tell you how fast things are moving. And of course, moving averages, which act like guardrails, helping you stay on the right side of the overall trend.
Okay, you've got your context, you've got your confirmation. The trade looks perfect. But what if you're wrong? And you will be wrong sometimes. This is where the real pros shine. They trade with a safety net. This isn't about being scared. It's about being smart enough to make sure you can come back and trade again tomorrow.
I mean, this slide just nails the difference, doesn't it? The amateur jumps in on a whim, crosses their fingers, and just hopes. The strategist waits. They have a plan. They know exactly where they're getting in, where they're taking profits, and, most importantly, where they're getting out if they're wrong. It's the difference between gambling and operating a business.
And here's your practical checklist to make it happen. Your entry point is your trigger. You don't move until you get that confirmation signal. Your stop loss, that's your escape hatch. You need to know exactly where that is before you ever enter the trade. And your position size, that's how you control the damage. It's calculated so that even if you lose, it's just a small, manageable loss.
So let's pull all these pieces together. Context, confirmation, risk management. They're not just separate ideas floating around. They are the three legs of a stool. They form a single, powerful framework for making decisions. This is how you go from just seeing shapes on a screen to executing a repeatable, professional strategy.
And this is the process, your 5-step loop. Step 1, you identify a potential pattern, but you immediately check its context. 2, you put on your detective hat and look for confirmation. 3, you meticulously plan the trade. Entry, stop, target. 4, you manage your risk by calculating the right position size. And 5, and this is the step most people skip, you review the trade afterward, win or lose, to see what you can learn. This loop, right here, is the path to getting better.
When you start using this framework, everything changes. You make the leap from being a simple pattern spotter to a true market strategist. It's not just about knowing what a flag or a pennant is. It's about understanding the market environment and knowing when to be aggressive, when to sit on your hands, and how to adapt on the fly.
And that ability to adapt is crucial because a one-size-fits-all approach is a total disaster. A pattern in the stock market might behave one way, where it's influenced by earnings news. But in Forex, everything moves at lightning speed. And in crypto, whoa, get ready for extreme volatility where patterns can fail spectacularly. You have to play by the rules of the market you're in.
And look, the journey never really ends. The real masters are obsessed with improving. They're constantly back-testing their ideas, going back on the charts to see how their strategy would have performed in the past. They study their losses even more than their wins. They're like professional athletes, always looking for that tiny edge that makes all the difference.
I think this quote just sums it all up beautifully. Your goal isn't to be a psychic. It's impossible. The real goal is to consistently make good decisions based on the probabilities, while always controlling your risk. That's the secret. That is how you stay in this game long term.
So after all of this, I'll leave you with one final question to think about. Are you going to continue being a pattern spotter, just chasing shapes and hoping for the best? Or are you ready to become a strategist with a plan, a toolkit, and a professional mindset? The choice is yours.